Democrat friends of mine are kind of quietly coming over and saying, hey, we miss you. It was a lot better. And there's no place that's more of an issue than at the border. And what folks don't understand about the border is it's not an immigration issue. The Democrats are conflating border security and the immigration issue for political wins, and it's a national security issue. We have traffickers, and when we talk about traffickers, it runs the gamut. So number one, you've got your drug traffickers and these cartels, and they have so much money, they've made so much money selling fentanyl and cocaine and marijuana and all of their illegal drugs and that are killing 100,000 Americans a year in places like Iowa and Arizona and Utah and Idaho and the middle of the country. It's not just a border issue. So you've got those guys, and by the way, a lot of that illegal fentanyl is coming from China. So it's manufactured by Chinese cartels, and then they're selling it to Mexican and Central American cartels who are bringing it over the border. But you've also got people trafficking humans, and there's terrible trafficking that's happening for illegal labor, people that are being paid horrible wages, and then you have the sex trafficking that's just unspeakable with women and children, and this is happening on a regular basis. And so you've got all the traffickers taking advantage of the border situation, and this is just a filthy stream of wrongdoing that's coming over our borders almost unchecked. But then you add into it, as the governor and the senator pointed out, we've got folks that are coming in from Iran, from Venezuela, from Cuba, from Russia, from China. Now, my hope is that these are people that are trying to escape those regimes. They're terrible regimes, and I'm sure some of them are. But we also know that all those regimes target the United States, and they want to infiltrate either terrorists or folks that can run espionage cells or terrorist cells. Whether it's Hezbollah, we got Lebanese that are coming over that are actual Hezbollah members that have been caught at the border. So we've got to get control of the border. And then the other thing I'll say, it's a public health situation. So if anyone's traveled overseas, you know that within 24 hours of getting on the plane, you've got to have a COVID test, and you wear a mask on the plane. And overseas or even coming back in, people want to see your vaccination card. You can't go to a restaurant in certain cities without a vaccination card. At the border, there's no vaccination cards. There's no testing. There's no PCR test. There's no mask. It's wide open. And so we've got a public health issue, we've got a trafficking issue, and we've got a national security issue. And all those things are combining to overwhelm the folks at the border. And I'll just finish with one quick comment about what we did at the outset of COVID. I got together with Bill Barr, and we were very concerned about, as we shut down the country, with the traffickers trying to take advantage, the cartels trying to take advantage of that. And we were concerned that they would try and move into the country and move a lot of their goods into the country and warehouse them here and then have product to sell for 2 or 3 or 4 years, because these guys they understand supply chains, and they've got accountants and businessmen, and the money that they make. We found tunnels that have hundreds of millions of dollars in $100 bills stacked up as far as you can see down tunnels. And so they know business. And so we decided we're going to put Coast Guard ships, and unfortunately we didn't have enough cutters, but we got the Navy involved and roped them in. And then we got the Dutch to give us a frigate in the Caribbean, and we got the British to give us one of their frigates. And I think we had 9 ships in the Eastern Pacific along the California Baja border, and then we had, I think we had 2 ships there, and I think we had 7 in the Caribbean. We seized over $4 billion in cocaine above the normal baseline. So that's above what we were regularly seizing. We seized $4 billion in cocaine as the traffickers tried to take advantage of COVID to push their product into the country. So this is real. Anyone who tells you that this isn't real or this is a social issue or an immigration issue, it's not. It's a life or death issue for Americans, especially American kids across the country. So thank you for your leadership, Governor and Senator. Thank you. We need that legislation that you're talking about. And with 11 votes, that sounds like 61 votes to me. That sounds pretty good for those of you who can't vote.